and welcome back to Keeping Up with the Captains, episode 5. I'm Jack.
And I'm Bree.
We're back again today, something exciting coming up. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, Bree, I think we realised after I edited the last episode how bad I am at maths.
Or how bad I am at knowing you. You had 3. Okay. Next minute I have 1. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, Bree did not have 3 correct answers. As we found out in the video, she had 1.
1.
I had 4. I was just trying to be generous and give you a couple of extras. Even that couldn't help you though. You couldn't help yourself.
No.
Well, today's episode is actually really exciting. We've been hinting about this for a while. I feel like it's been coming for months, but today is the day.
We're interviewing TikTok star like Havy.
USA, what is this TikTok ban about?
Hey Dad, how was work?
Oh mate, I won most secretive guy in the office. How about that? Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have you around for a cuppa soon, love. Haven't had a catch up in a while.
Mate, Mum's had a fall.
What? What do you mean?
I don't know, mate. She was just carrying a basket of ironed clothes and just tumbled, mate. I saw it all unfold.
Please.
Blake joins us now. Blake, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
No, that's all right. What was your initial thought when you got a random email from a student down here in Victoria?
I'm not too sure, really. I'm always happy to talk to our fellow school captains. We're a small bunch, we've not been able to do too much this year, but yeah, no, it's good to be here.
No, thanks for coming. And I mean, it's a little bit different for you, I suppose, up in New South Wales. A little bit different situation to what's happening down here in Victoria. Are you all looking at us up there like we've got the plague?
Oh no, well, I live right on the border of New South Wales and Victoria anyway, so I'm basically a Victorian, by pretty much adoption. So I'm with you. You've got my support, but every time someone, a teacher or something from Victoria comes over, we're always, staying back from them. So but no, hopefully, we'll be able to, cross paths again soon, because I'm bloody over this whole thing.
You're not the only one.
You've got over 400,000 followers on TikTok. What made you want to start producing content?
It sort of just came very naturally. I think I was, one of those people who would always, bag anyone who even had TikTok on their phone. But then I finally got convinced to do it, and then obviously everyone who gets it just gets addicted straight away. So I just started really making videos just to make my mates laugh and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and then a video just randomly blew up, and I tried to keep going with that. So there wasn't really like initially a motivation or a goal in mind to get this whole thing started. But yeah, it's just been over the past, however many months it's been since I started. It's just been a whirlwind, and I'm just trying to ride the wave as much as I can, really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're almost at 500,000 followers. It's crazy. What was that initial video? What really sparked you becoming what you are now?
Well, I was just sort of sitting in my room one day, because all my mates would just like make videos that we'd send to each other, and then, we'd obviously post them. And then I was just sitting on the couch one day, and I was thinking, I should, try act as a middle-aged dad and see how that goes down, to just because, that's how pretty much all of our dads are in my little friend group. And they're just, that little bit, just trying to always be funny, but never really connect and all that type of stuff. So I really just based that whole, that first video. I think it was called like POV Dad Meets His Mate at a Pub or something like that and that really just started it all. And it just sort of, I just sort of improv'd it the first go, and then posted it randomly. And then I came back to my phone about 30 minutes later, and it was just blowing up, and it was just, it was a bloody whirlwind. And, it's just, ever since that, it's just been really, really crazy to see how it's, taken off.
We told one of our teachers, shout out to Mr. Hilly, if he knew who you were, and he was really excited that we were talking to you. Do you ever get recognised in public from people you don't know?
I went up to Melbourne in February for a music festival. I went up to Laneway, and it was really the first time since I'd been on social media that people had started to recognise me, because that was my first real outing into the city since the first video blew up. And I had I think it was about somewhere between 50 to 70 people came up to me that day like during the like couple of it, like 6 or 7 hours I was at the festival, just like asking for photos and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it was very, very crazy. And then obviously, like if I, I live quite close to sort of Albury Wodonga, so yeah, every time I go down there, there's usually maybe one or two people that might stop and say g'day or want to take a photo or something like that. So but yeah, it's really, really good to just see people have tried like at least connected with me in that way. So yeah, it's really, really good. And shout out to Mr. Hilly as well.
Mr. Hilly's gonna love that. You don't even understand. He's a huge fan, and a kid at heart, Mr. Hilly as well.
Oh, what a legend! We love him.
I suppose one of my favourite TikTok series that you've done recently is when you're playing the world leaders from around the world and discussing what's going on with COVID. They've been quite popular as well. They've been shared by some really well-known people, some celebrities, wrestlers, Glee cast members. What's it like when someone like that shares your content?
Well, in that particular case, it was a little bit bittersweet because I think some lady from America, like her daughter sent it to her, and then she like saved the video and then posted it on her Twitter account. So that's where all the traction on Twitter came, and like nobody knew like where the original video came from. So luckily people in the comments of that Twitter post found my Twitter username, thank God, and just shared it around that way. So when the celebrities started sharing it, like I wasn't really on Twitter for that long. I think I'd only had Twitter for about probably even less than a week at that point, and then people like Ice-T and Jane Lynch were seeing my face and all that sort of stuff. So like every 20 minutes I'd be running out to mum or my siblings, just like screaming about the next celebrity that's seen it. But definitely the Hurricane, the WWE wrestler, that was the one I fangirled the most about.
We're both in year 12. The only difference being I'm not a TikTok star. How do your classmates feel about your fame?
I'm not too sure really. I guess we don't really talk about it too much, just because we've always known each other for pretty much all our lives, pretty much. Just obviously being in a small town, you're always pretty connected, especially over the last pretty much like 6 years during high school. So it's kind of I've been on this journey with them, just like seeing how everything goes, and they're just like trying to ride the wave with me. So I'm happy to have like that support system around me. But obviously I think there's probably a few people at school who aren't big fans of me that probably hate it, but that comes with it. That's what you sign up for. But yeah, the mates that I've got around me, they're fully supportive, and they've always gotten around me for it. Even when the videos weren't like blowing up or anything, they'd always have a laugh and try to share it around as much as they can. So yeah, I do owe a lot of my success to them and their support, I think.
What about teachers? Do any of your teachers talk about it?
Not at the start, but ever since the videos started going around on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, that's when a few of them probably jumped on board. And then as like I had a few snippets of my clips on like ABC News and stuff like that, so that's when the teachers really got like invested in it. And I've always got teachers coming up to me like trying to make me rein in all the year 7s by like using my TikTok fame to try and make them listen to me, and that I always try to shy away from all that. But yeah, no, the teachers are really supportive about it as well, so yeah, we love them.
I think everyone as well, when it comes to TikTok, everyone's goal is to go viral. I mean, that's what you're on TikTok for. You want to get that number of followers and likes up there. I mean, I tried. I got 200,000 views on one video, but that was the end of my TikTok career. How do you keep that continuous, I guess, line of fresh content coming to mind?
Yeah, look, it's, it comes in like many, like different sort of ways of like how ideas come. Usually I might, have like one line or a punchline that I'll try to work a video around, or I'll have like a whole concept just that comes really naturally. But yeah, it's just about like in terms of trying to pump out new content all the time, it's sometimes like harder than usual, but something always is going to, come about, whether that be, the global roundtables or something like that, that can just be, that I can keep pumping out, because, stuff's always going to be, like evolving with this whole COVID situation and all that. But but yeah, it's just about finding what the audience wants and like what they connect to the most, and always just keeping it. I always think if it ever gets to the point where it's like it becomes clinical and it's like something that you're thinking about, like, oh, I've got to post this today, and all that sort of stuff. It just doesn't become all that fun. So I'm just trying to keep it like not more as well, obviously it's become like a little bit of a job so far, and I've got some few things in the works, but I think the main thing is to just keep that, that good, fun-loving, excitement about it as I did at the start. And if you just keep that mindset, things will come naturally and you'll be able to, thrive for as long as you can, hopefully.
Just before Bree's got the next question, because I know the next question is actually pretty interesting, but when you're posting content, do you ever feel like before you click that publish button, I hope my followers like this? Like, do you ever second guess yourself?
Yeah, look, it's really, really weird with TikTok, especially. Like, I always know I have a rough idea like how a video might go, but like at the same time, as soon as I post it, the videos that I think are going to flop, that I'm not very proud of, those are some of the ones that have been really, really like the most, reached out to in terms of audience numbers and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you never really know what the audience is going to connect to when you're posting something new. Like that first COVID roundtable that I did, I think I had nothing to upload that night, but I hadn't uploaded in a couple of days. So I just wanted to get something out there. And I just posted that after coming up with the idea about 5 minutes prior to shooting it, and then posted it that night. And, it's been a terrific sort of like reaction to it, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's, at the end of the day, I've probably got no clue, but it's just about trying to ride the wave at the end of the day.
There's been a lot of conversation about TikTok being banned. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I've talked to a few people, and like luckily for me at this point, I'm at the stage where I haven't really hit an American audience just yet. So if it doesn't get banned here, and I don't think it will get banned here, it's just I'll be able to keep my audience hopefully and keep pumping out just usual content. But at the same time, if China's got my information, I've got really nothing to hide, so I'm not too fussed about it. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it at the moment.
That's good to hear. I mean, there's a lot of conversation about it, and I suppose for you, your content, do you think Americans would get your content? I'm not sure if they would.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I guess maybe the roundtable videos they might respond to a bit better, but the just Aussie dad content, I don't think it'll reach over there at all. Sometimes it goes over to sort of the UK and all those sort of European areas mostly, but yeah, I never really usually thought about like hitting over in America, just because I think sometimes the humour is probably just not my strength. So, probably those UK and European audiences are probably who I think if I'm going to try go overseas with all this sort of stuff, they might be the best option to go to. But yeah, I like doing this Aussie content probably the most out of all the stuff I do. So if it hits America, it hits America. But if it doesn't, I'm not too fussed at all.
Yeah, and what's the goal for you in year 12 this year? Are you looking to go into a comedy acting sort of career? What's the plan?
Yeah, probably. Well, the main goal probably even before I started TikTok was to probably like direct my own, films and all that sort of stuff. But probably now that all this stuff's kind of blown up, I've probably opened up a few more doors for myself. So I'll just try to dip my feet into everything, whether that be, stand-up, acting, all that sort of stuff, just to see what I like and, just to get a feel for as much of the industry as I can. But yeah, at the same time, I'm pretty cruisy about this stuff and just usually like to take it by years. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where it goes. But, if 10 years time it's flopped and, nothing really sort of comes about with it, that's, it doesn't really fuss me because if I've given it a go, like that's all I can do.
I want to move away from TikTok and comedy for a minute. How's year 12 going?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I have to say I've been a little bit lazy ever since we sort of started to lock down and go into online learning, and it's just my motivation has gone completely out the window at some points. But I think it's just important to not try to like have school like in your thoughts all the time, because I think it just does no good to be thinking about all the work and all the dramas with year 12 at the moment, especially during this time. Like even in a normal year, I don't think it's very healthy to, have school as the number one priority all the time, and all that sort of stuff. So I think if you can just try to eliminate as much of the stress as possible, it's probably, at the end of the day, like 2 days after your ATAR comes out, I don't think it really matters that much, depending on what you want to do. Because, in a year's time, even like a week's time after you get your ATAR, nobody's going to ask you about it, and it's not going to have that much of an effect on your life besides getting into, uni and all that sort of stuff. And, even if you don't get those uni, those scores you want to get into uni, there's so many pathways to do what you want to do. So like, school is not the be all and end all, and it's not going to be something that has this sort of long lasting effect on your life going forward. But yeah, at the same time, just give it a go and see what happens. I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying bugger school, it doesn't matter at all. But at the same time, just don't stress yourself about it. I think it's probably the best way to go about things.
I'm glad you clarified. A couple of our teachers watching were probably getting a little nervous there. Awesome, Blake. I think that's everything that we had on our list to ask you. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been awesome.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for having me. It was good.
Well, this wraps up this episode of Talking to Blake Pavey. It was a great insight of the TikTok world.
It was, and I feel like I'm ready now to go forth in my TikTok journey and go viral. I think I've got the tips.
Yes, Blake Pavey gave you all the tips.
All the tips. I think I've got my checklist now, and I've just got to find something that's worth watching. That's probably going to be the biggest challenge.
Yes, and keeping up the content that's actually likable.
But I mean, almost 500,000 followers from a country town in regional New South Wales / Victoria, right on the border. That's pretty impressive.
That's crazy.
Blake, if you're watching, thank you so much for coming to chat with us. It really does mean a lot. We're just nobodies in the middle of Ararat, so it is great to be able to have you. I'm talking for myself. Bree, of course, is not a nobody. Everyone knows Bree.
Yeah, never.
But it was great to have you on Keeping Up with the Captains. Our next episode is one that you will not want to miss because I may accidentally light my house on fire. It depends how well I am at cooking, but we're going to see how I go.
Not making pancakes, so I'm scared.
Me cooking, I'm not sure if it's a good thing, but that's coming up next time on Keeping Up with the Captains. Until then, stay safe, stay connected. Shoot us through an email if you want to get in touch, and also leave a comment below because we read through all of the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!